How to check on the busyness of life and work. Who is not stiller in the morning, or when they are up before the house hurry-scurry, before the phone rings or the commutes have begun? Is it easier to notice meaning in a quiet, respectful environment? In solitude, time slows down, and while we might find that speed hard to bear at first, we will ultimately go crazy without this check on the busyness of life and work. And if not driven crazy, we will certainly miss out. Veda says,
मन, प्रसाद, सौम्यत्वं मौनमात्म विनिग्रह. भाव संशुद्धिरित्ते तत्तपो मानस मुच्यते.
Calmness, gentleness, silence, self-restraint, and purity, these are the disciplines of the mind. Solitude is not just for hermits, but for healthy, functioning people. Although there is a thing or two we can learn about solitude from the people who turned pro at it. In 1941, then just 26 years old, Thomas Merton reported to the Abbey of Gethsemane in Bardstown, Kentucky, and began his first of many journeys into monkish solitude that would go on, in various forms, for the next 27 years. His solitude was hardly indolent repose. It was instead an active exploration of himself, of religion, of human nature, and later, into solving serious societal problems like inequality, war, and injustice. In his beautiful journals, we find insights into the human experience that would have been impossible if Merton had spent his time in a newspaper bullpen or even on a university campus. He would come to call solitude his vocation. As he wrote, to pray and work in the morning and to labor and rest in the afternoon, and to sit still again in meditation in the evening when night falls upon that land and when the silence fills itself with darkness and with stars. This is a true and special vocation. There are few who are willing to belong completely to such silence, to let it soak into their bones, to breathe nothing but silence, to feed on silence, and to turn the very substance of their life into a living and vigilant silence. In a more emulatable form of Merton's retreat, Microsoft founder and philanthropist Bill Gates has, twice a year, for many years now, taken what he calls a think week. He spends 7 days alone in a cabin in the forest. By removing himself from interruptions, he can really sit down and think. He might be alone there, but he is hardly lonely. Gates reads, sometimes hundreds of papers, quietly for hours at a time, sometimes in print, sometimes off computer monitors that look out over the water. In those solitary days in that cabin, Gates is the picture of Thomas à Kempis's everywhere I have sought peace and not found it, except in a corner with a book.